So we're almost done with it. We should be able to finish in like 1 or 2 more parts. I forgot what we were gonna do now. I think we should just probably go. You don't really care about this shit, do you? I don't really care about this stuff. There's some like little looty things, but I've got them before in different playthroughs, and I don't have any intention of playing Resident Evil 8 after this for some time. Oh fuck, we should just... Hold on. Let's sell that. I feel like if I drop it on the ground, or is it... Can you even do that? No, you can't even... I don't think you can do anything to get rid of it other than selling it. I had thought I did everything, but apparently not. I did want to open that, but I forgot how. If you remember how, tell me. I wanted to go... That's one of the only thingies that I like.
Shall I choose something for
As far as, optional
Securing goods
bosses.
is more important than anything. Anything, my friend. I'm surprised you'd part with this so early. These hands are more dexterous than one might think. Have a wonderful adventure.
There's some way to open it, but I don't remember how. Page. I'm incredibly not a fan of how you can like, you can do this, but you can't do it the other way around. Doesn't make any sense. Like, I can move it to a, like, to swap with that, but I can't go the other way around for some reason. Alright. Okay, that's alright. Maybe I'll remember it, or we'll do it by accident or something. I'm not gonna kill all of these. I know we could, but like, it's not really important to me. There is like a green herb somewhere here. Doesn't make any sense, but okay. Took me forever to find the thing in that barrel, the rusted scrap, because I think that's yeah. It was red, and I was just like looking up. I was like, is there two things? Is there something up there? And then it's just in here. I don't really understand what this place is supposed to be before it was a stronghold. Like, did somebody get the lichens to like build this place? Like, even if that was the case, like, it doesn't seem like it's meant for that. 'Cause like, if it was a stronghold, you shouldn't have like just massive holes in the ceiling. Even if you are like a werewolf, it makes sense to have like snow comes in and stuff like that too.
This must be their den.
I imagine that it's a place that they adopted. Adopted after, after it already existed.
Okay, big guy.
Can we just go through? Yeah, we can. Maybe, but it doesn't have church stuff in it. I like this part in the original because it's like, it reminded me of like Amnesia. Like, I say the original, like my original playthrough, my first playthrough. It reminded me of like Amnesia, where like all the ghouls are eating corpses and stuff like that. I think you don't need to do stuff like that though, because like um, there's just too many times, not just in this game, but also in this game, where enemies like go right next to Ethan and don't see him. Like same thing with Lady D. She we just crouch outside of her window and she doesn't see us for some reason. I wanna just make it same thing. Actually, what am I doing? It's not right. I think it goes without saying that Any hit from this hammer that he holds would be lethal. Obviously, Ethan is mold. He doesn't die, but like... I don't even understand why you're allowed to block it. Ooh. I low-key might die. I don't know if I can use this fast enough. Dead.
Eat shit.
What does that mean? Amnesia. You mean... What is it called? I can't even think of it. When you think you've, done something before, been somewhere before. I forgot what it's called. It's a French thing. I can't think of it. This bit's, it's cool, but like I really don't think we need stuff like this in Resident Evil necessarily. Also, I'm not understanding the argument as to why like you can't just sell all of it, you know? Like if we can only sell like the tiny pebbles that come off. Oh, deja vu is what I'm saying. You don't mean deja vu? Oh, what the fuck? I didn't even read it properly. Ignore that. Ignore that. You didn't like Amnesia, yes. Yes. I know. It's okay.
You're the real deal, Ethan. Well done.
Quit hiding, asshole. I'm not letting you get out of this.
Cool your jets. Just a little bit more, and you're all wrapped up. I'll lend you a hand. So in exchange...
In exchange, what?
First of all, come to me. Put all the flasks in the altar, and I'm sure you'll figure the rest out. See you, Ethan.
God damn it.
I don't actually know if we need the... I don't remember if we need chicken for any recipe. We might do though. If you looked closely right then, you can see that the magazines are not loaded. But which one is this? Is it this key? No, it's the other key. I like this one again, but like, so it's so trivial to fight because of the buildings. We can try like do some funny stuff though. Can't see it really. rate it for... I don't know, like, it's like... If, I don't know. Out of 9, I would give it like a 5. Like, right in the middle, maybe like a 4. Worth playing a single time, but not worth a whole lot. Mostly. Mine is still a little bit stuffy though. You can actually get it stuck in this building. Which, you know a game is like kind of boring when you try and glitch like the enemies into certain places they're not supposed to be. Or trying to like get a better look at it instead of actually fighting it. We have plenty of healing items, so I'm not really worried. But... when I'm... yeah, oh, he can watch it. That's okay, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind if he wants to watch it, but it's gonna be, like, not that interesting. It's not a very interesting game. If I can get this thing inside this building, though, then it'll be fun. It's difficult to do that, though. It's really close. I have to get him past the corner and then he has to do like a leaping attack. He has to do that attack once he's over there. Almost. No. I'll stop fucking with him in a sec, but... Yep, there we go, he's inside. Don't kill me though. No, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Alright, so now he's inside. Now he's inside and he's trapped there. But you can get a really good look at the way he looks, like, from here. Which I think is more interesting. I think it's a really good monster design. I just think that the way that they implemented the fighting with it is just too... It's too, like... I don't know, like... Too easy. Because, like... The first thing people are gonna do is just hide in a building. So... Like... They're immediately gonna find out how to exploit the buildings to just kill it from a safe place. I'm not saying that you shouldn't kill things from a safe place or a position of advantage, but like in a single player game, it shouldn't be this heavy, like it shouldn't give you that much advantage. And I don't know. You should be able to get more advantage in like multiplayer games where thinking about it before another person, a real person, not AI, thinks about it, should actually reward you. Whereas in a single player story game, it should give you something for being creative maybe, but like it shouldn't make the gameplay like just easy. How did I figure out? I was just screwing with it. Because I don't know, the most fun thing you can do in this game is really to just play with the AI, play with like the monsters, like this one, Lady Dimitrescu's AI, what other monsters are there? No, I can't even think of one. Oh, like, play with the AI of the guy in Otto's Mill, the cannibal. And then, also, the one that we can't seem to get into is the same, it's like the same enemy, but different, a different environment fighting in. Yeah, I don't know how to get in here, I can't remember. It's not coming back to me. But if you get that part of the headstone, you can go to this place and you can get the treasure here and fight someone. But I just don't remember how to do that. What else? Guess we could just go.
It's my greatest pleasure to see you return alive.
What was that?
If it's just looking, window shop away.
I also like, this is what I was saying earlier, is like, this one says a prehistoric looking creature, and it says ancient beast, and you notice that that last Varkalek that we fought has like spears and stuff coming out of it, so clearly it's had some sort of run-in with people, and it's like reinforcing that they're totally like the things that we see in this one is
Food
like
life.
where the folklore comes from, like of monsters in the forest and stuff like that. I think it's a nice touch.
Aha!
We also have to sell this one because it's got no ammo anymore, don't we?
Do take care selecting your weapons. Looking forward to testing it out?
Yeah, I saw
Yes,
the
I can
key.
see why you'd be interested. Have a wonderful adventure.
Let me think. Is there anything else we have to do? I don't think this... No. I've got all the loot before, I'm not really worried about it, and...
What's going on?
Like, we could use the thing on that, the crank that we got from Moreau, but... There's not, like, a whole lot that awaits us. We got that already. Yeah, I like the merchant. He's nice. I don't know. He's not a bad one. And yeah, the wings. It's supposed to be like heretical. I think. I like, oh, before I even talk about that, one thing to note is that the ceiling is so low here, this elevator contraption thing was clearly not meant to be ridden by any, like, not Lady Dimitrescu or any other, this is designed for regular sized people, for sure. You can also hear the heartbeat over there if you had your volume up really high. One thing I'm not crazy about, like I like fantasy stuff and like whatnot, but bruh, the amount of force that it would take to raise a brick bridge, a stone brick bridge from underneath water already, like you're lifting the water on top of it before it's draining, and then you're lifting the stone itself.
Ethan Winters. Welcome.
They could have
I
just
didn't
as
think
easily
you'd
made
make
it
it
any
out of
bridge.
Moreau, but I suppose you survived worse back in America, hmm? I like you. I'd like to speak to you about Rose and Miranda. Oh, come on in. Don't worry. It's not a trap.
What are you planning?
If you don't get this stuff now, then you can't get it later on. Because that's where you're gonna be. And then it'll be a cutscene. So. Same within this room. If you don't get it, the stuff before, if you don't get the chem fluid before you come over here, then you can never get it.
What the hell?
The revolver that I'm holding?
Yeah?
Or a different one?
Let me guess. You're thinking, take me out like the others, and then he gets to go and save Rose, right?
I'm healing my daughter.
Look, you got this all wrong. It's a mental. Shut your fucking hole! Sorry about that. Take a seat. Listen, Ethan, you're being played.
What are you talking about? You think this is a game?
I said sit! Lady, supersized bitch. Ugly ass psycho doll. An embryonic freak. Don't you get it? It's a test. To see if you're strong enough to be a part of Miranda's family.
I don't want to be a part of Miranda's family.
Neither did I, but here we are. And I'm next in line, right? Kill me, move up the chain. Well, fuck that!
I don't give a damn about your personal issues. I just want to fix my daughter.
So do I. Do you have any idea how powerful that kid is? Even Miranda's scared of her. Last time, you freak, I swear to God! You and me, Ethan. Together, we can go save Rose, and then we can use her to grind Miranda into paste.
My daughter is not a weapon. Fuck you!
Last chance. You don't want to find out what's in that hole.
I'll take my chances.
You're fury.
I do like this enemy as well.
A dead end.
Propeller head. Or I guess they call him something else.
What was that thing?
Which gun were you talking about? This one? Or a different one? Yeah, this one is the Magnum Research BFR. They don't say what BFR stands for, but it's kind of like implied that it means biggest fucking revolver. They'll say it's like biggest finest revolver, which is like tongue in cheek, but it's nice. It's just a upscaled version of a previous design. It's not their own unique creation. It's a modern version of the Colt Single Action Army, or it had other names as well. That was the one adopted by the military, made by the actual Samuel Colt, not just someone in his business that he would eventually form. And it was like the only effective revolver that Colt ever produced as well. Actually, wait, they did. I think they may have invented double action. I take it back. Maybe they had two good revolvers, but other than that, Colt really makes they make revolvers that people awe in, like they awe at the quality of like the manufacturing processes. Like they'll be all like shiny and mirror finish and stuff like that. But the reality is that they're not better than Smith & Wesson revolvers, or many other brands. But anyway, this is just an upscaled version of that design, and the Single Action Army came out in 1860 something. I can't remember. It came out in the 1800s. It was one of the first cartridge firearms, and it was the first cartridge firearm that the US military adopted as a handgun. Before that we had muzzle loaders,
Something new.
as in, you know, you have to pack down the black powder, and then you put on the wad, and then the projectile, all the stuff that I said yesterday. I don't know if you were asleep for that.
I've gotten some new stock. Now to spend like kings. Ha 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 ha. Thank you. Now to cook. Finished. I'd love for you to enjoy as well. To think such a dish could be had in this winter, sure to be a good meal.
I would like to get one. It's about $1,000-ish. It's not a perfect revolver, and I'm not incredibly crazy about the company either. But, I like the caliber that one of them is in. It's not even manufactured in that caliber from Colt, though. It's like, you buy the revolver and then you send it to this other company, and they install their custom parts on it, and then you can use it to fire this other caliber that I mentioned. But they're a good company, and I trust the other one to make quality stuff that isn't gonna blow up or anything funny. There's several things I don't like about it. Not just the caliber that it comes in. Not just the caliber that it comes in by default from Magnum Research, but also I don't like the ergonomics of it. The grip. Like if we look at it, if we look at this one, you see how on the back of the grip right here on the top part right below the hammer there's this like hook shape. It would be right under where your hand is, or not under, sorry, over where your hand is. And it kind of like keeps his hand from like going up further. It prevents the hammer from like contacting the hand. It's called a beaver tail, from the shape that it usually takes. It prevents your hand from like slipping and stuff like that. And if you notice, this one doesn't have it. And it's not like the worst thing in the world to not have a beaver tail, but it helps tremendously. Every time you fire this thing, you're gonna have to like adjust your grip because it is going to slide up your hand, and you don't want it. You don't want a very aggressive beaver tail on something like this, like you would on something like this, because the recoil on this you can control with your body weight and your musculature and your skeleton and stuff like that. If you had a super aggressive beaver tail on this, it would physically harm you and stuff like that. You are supposed to let the gun kick up on its own, let it do its motion. The more the gun moves under recoil, the less it is transferring that energy into you, which means that it's less damage it's going to do to you when you fire it. as opposed to smaller guns where they don't impart enough energy onto you to damage you in general, so you might as well control it better. Because of the shape, or it's like the material it's made of. It's because of the shape. The material doesn't help either, it's just wood for the grips, but it's mainly because of the shape. Ironically, this one is the only other combat relevant handgun that Colt has ever produced, and this is not a design from Colt themselves, the company, nor Samuel Colt himself. This is a design from a man named John Moses Browning, who is widely regarded, and rightfully so, as the greatest firearm inventor in all of mankind. But Colt has like 2 or arguably 3 good designs for defensive use in terms of handguns, and they have like hundreds of others that are just like either boutique guns, like novelty items, or they're like just nonsense guns. Like, it's kind of sad. It's not like they can make whatever they want. That the sad part is not that they don't make so many good defensive guns. The sad part is just that people like consider them, not many people, but a lot of people, enough people to warrant it annoying me. People consider them to be like a gold standard of personal defense weapons, and they really are not. Like, they were good over 100 years ago, and even then they were not very good, they were just permissible, and right now there is no sense in carrying anything from them at all. I do like this part a lot. I like the enemies. I like the, like a lot of stuff. I like that you pass them when they're like inactive. And then you're just like hoping that they don't activate. I like that they walk towards you. It's reminiscent of Mr. X. With how much health they have and stuff like that, that allows them to have these long fights with you. And I like that you can blind them by breaking their headpiece. This is one of the better areas in the game, in my opinion. It's more unique and it has a lot of good elements and stuff in it. before we give this up, this is one of the things that I was telling you about the other day. So, remember when I taught you about die casting? This is, it's essentially, it's a big plate, right? And it has a cutout in the middle. And this shape that's cut out of it, in the middle, has a little opening right there. And you'll see how that works in a second. The melted material is going to get poured into this opening, and it's going to fill out this area because liquid assumes the shape of the container that's holding it. So this is essentially like a bottle with a very specific shape on the inside of the bottle. And we're going to pour this molten metal into it, and then when it solidifies, it's going to be the shape of the inside of this bottle, you know? And obviously, if it only has this tiny hole, then there has to be some other way to open it without destroying the inside, you know? So it comes apart in two halves. One half you see there with the pattern on with the horse on it, and then the other half is this flat face with some other interfacing shapes to hold it in place when we put it on the wall, but you'll see in a sec. We put the bottom on the bottom, and then the top part was on the top already. Now it's gonna pour this liquid metal into it. It gets cooled off by these. It's gonna come down, and then the top part's gonna go back up, and then we have our finished product. And it's right here. So now it is the exact shape of the container, the die cast that we just used. And when I say exact, I mean like it's mostly accurate to like a few, depending on what metal you use and what, like for the die cast itself and what metal you're pouring into it and other things, making sure the metal is properly heated and whatnot. If it's not hot enough, it can solidify before it has filled the entire container, and if you don't do other things, it can do that as well. But they're mostly accurate to within like a few millimeters at most, if not like less than 1 millimeter, for most of like the dimensions.
Seems useful.
And now the shapes on the backside can lock into the wall, and then it's a key to open the door. I don't think we have any. No, we don't. Oof. Oof. Big oof. If you time it, they can run into it, and then you don't have to waste ammo. But like, environment, right? Do they actually use helium to cool them off? No, helium is somewhat flammable. Not as much as hydrogen, but they wouldn't use helium to cool anything off. They would use something like carbon dioxide, like you'd see in like dry ice or other things, or they would maybe use like liquid nitrogen if they want specific. When they use liquid nitrogen, it's usually referred to as fuck, what is it called? It's referred to as sub-zero quenching. So when you quench something, it means that you quenching is the process of cooling heated metal after you're done working with it. So like when you not just like when you're casting something out of liquid metal, but also even when you're forging it, like on a like you're heating it up from the thingy. Liquid hydrogen doesn't exist. I mean, it does, but like you can't really feasibly create it. Liquid hydrogen, helium is the voice thing. Yeah, it does. Helium they use for balloons and stuff, and it'll make your voice higher pitched. Hydrogen liquefies at 0 degrees Kelvin, which is absolute zero, which is practically impossible to create. You can't feasibly create liquid hydrogen. They will use though liquid nitrogen, like I said, or carbon dioxide or other things. So like even if you were to just forge something, you don't have to quench it, but you really should quench it because leaving it like just to cool off over time makes the metal a lot more malleable and soft. Quenching it gives it this almost crystalline molecular structure, which means that it's a lot more rigid and sturdy. They would like if you were making like a support beam for something, then you probably wouldn't worry about quenching anything. You would just cast the metal and just the regular strength of the metal on its own without quenching anything, it should be plenty sturdy enough to hold a bridge or a building, and if it's not, then you need more beams, not better beams. But if you were making something like a a tool that has to last a long time, like a sword or something else, or an axe, or certain gun parts that are under high stress, like a barrel or something else, then you would want to quench, because that's gonna give you a lot better longevity and stuff like that because of its hardness. It's when its hardness goes up, the longevity will also be dramatically lengthened. And then, so it would be something like that. It would be like quenching. For most of history, people like blacksmiths making swords and stuff, they would quench it with like water, or they would use oil if they were afraid of certain things, like if they were afraid of it rusting. Rust isn't really a problem with quenching because it's not in there for very long, for one thing. And for another thing, it's mainly just that it's not in there for very long, so you shouldn't really have to worry about anything like that, but they would use water, which was pretty much at like room temperature water, to quench swords, and they would also use oil, like I said, which is again gonna be at like room temperature. So that was not like when you say sub-zero quenching, that's what it refers to. It's talking about below zero as in like the freezing point of water, and specifically like that as opposed to like room temperature quenching if you just like used regular water or like oil or something. It'll help, but you're not gonna get that like almost crystalline molecular structure in the grain of the metal, and that kind of stuff will have an effect on the strength of the whatever you're creating. So we can see that this one's gonna make a gear. It's symmetrical on both sides, but we'll see how it works in a sec. So the top part goes there, the bottom part goes there, then they press together. They're held together very tight because if there's any gaps, then it'll ruin the... You'll have to trim it afterwards if anything seeps out the sides. So they're held together pretty firmly, and then, you know, the rest of it happens exactly like you see it. Then I don't remember where we put this, to be honest. I'm not sure if I'm going the right way. Well, the starfish is like organic gear. I don't think it's here. It's somewhere, but not here. Oh, maybe we're supposed to go back. This thing was missing something.
Oh, Ethan. Such a disappointment. I thought we could join forces against that bitch Miranda. Truly, truly disappointing. She took me. Took us to be her children. She locked us away in the village. Decades of being forced to serve her. Can you even understand that humiliation? I'm not like my siblings. I want nothing more than to be free of that bitch. So I need power. I need enough power to destroy her. These are the fruits of my power. The strong will destroy the weak. That's the way of the world. You should have never refused me, Ethan.
What a freak.
It says there's more in this room. What more is there? It's red. Oh. So, I'm gonna shoot those, or actually, I don't know, I shouldn't waste ammo. There's no rush anymore. We are gonna shoot here in a sec, though. Not these ones. That's not what I meant. Alright, so now, look at the new magazine that he holds. Like, I'm gonna reload and then pay attention to the new mag that he puts in the gun. It's hard to see because he reloads fast, but, I think both magazines are empty, I'm pretty sure. The one he takes out is certainly empty, despite having rounds left in the... Like, we didn't do an empty reload. I reloaded after firing, like, I don't know, 8 out of the 15 or something, maybe like 10 out of the 15. So it wasn't empty. And it has a different reload animation for when it is empty because the slide will come back and stuff like that. We only have 13 rounds left, so you're gonna see what it looks like when we do an empty reload anyway, but I missed this on my first run because I didn't know how to get in the room. Oh, okay. Okay, so now the slide's back, and we'll look at it in a sec after we deal with it. Alright, so this is what it looks like when it's empty. You see how the slide is all the way back. You can see into the ejection port right there. You can see that there's no rounds. You can't quite see exactly where the rounds would be, but like, it's dark. There's no brass. There's no other stuff visible. I can't really give you a better look other than this, but like the point is that you can see the slide is back, which is the major indicator of the fact that you're out of ammo. So when we remove the magazine from here, it should certainly be empty, and I don't have spare ammo to put into it right now, but you'll see later on. I want to shoot this one empty too, just so I can show you the dry reload on this shotgun as well, to be honest. But like, you'll see it eventually later. He's stunned for quite a long time, but I don't know if I trust it. blocking the way. Alright, so, first, instead of just loading the tube like Ethan normally would or any other person, he's gonna put one through the ejection port directly into the chamber. Not like with his finger into the chamber, but like he's gonna put it into the ejection port and it's going to go directly into the chamber as soon as he closes the bolt with the pump. And like that. See? It's fast, I know. It's okay if you don't catch it, because you'll see later on anyway, in other games that we play. But it's faster to do that because if you can just put them into the magazine tube directly like you regularly would, but once you do that, you still have to pump it afterwards. So it's in the event that you don't have time to put like all 7 shells into this thing, it's faster to do it through the ejection port for the first one, because then it gets 1 round into the chamber, which means that if you have to stop reloading for some reason, like if you're out in bear country and there's 2 bears, there's more than 1 bear, you shoot the first one, or I don't know, you know what I'm saying. If there's an imminent threat to you, it gets your gun ready to fire again faster than loading into the magazine tube and then pumping afterwards does. And also, it's something you have to do anyway, so it kind of doesn't really, see how there's a different reload animation if we do empty reload? Then Ethan just drops the magazine and doesn't hold on to it at all. The other thing is that... Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Hold on, let's get rid of him first, and then... This thing should recharge in a sec. I don't know why, but it does. See. Oh, okay, it doesn't stun him for very long. I was totally gonna say something else, but I forgot.
You again?
I like this part too. It's interesting how he's like crafting an army, and he has this like processing line, this assembly line for the soldats. It's interesting. Let me think. So, oh yeah, I remember. So, this holds 7, right? It says 7 in the lower right, and then, you know, it holds 7. Um, but here's the catch. If you did not have 1 in the chamber, it would hold 6. So, what that means is, if you were empty, and you just loaded into the magazine tube, and not directly into the ejection port, you would come out with 6, and then you'd have to pump it, and then you're ready to fire with 1 in the chamber, but you still have 6. You don't have 7. So, in every way possible, it makes sense to, Are we going the right way? Maybe we're not. I don't know if we are. I forgot. No. I don't know, it's just a funny thing, he falls off if you shoot him.
You wish to make a purchase?
But yeah, you would have 6.
I've procured some new items
So it's
for
important.
Mr. Winters.
It's important to understand like how your firearms function, and not just like do the generic shit, like the baby step training wheel kind of things, you know. Don't do that stuff, because while it will like get the job done, there's that like the difference between mastery and just not even proficiency, but just like
As always, a trustworthy,
mediocrity
fair exchange.
is literally that, being able to do things in a more efficient manner. So understanding the way
Do
your
you have
firearm
enough
works,
firepower? I can now offer an expanded weapon modification service.
and utilizing those aspects to your own advantage is very important.
I see. Anything else? Leave this to me. This simple modification can be done in just a moment.
Let's not do that actually.
I'm skilled at all sorts of weapons modifications, and will do them for a small fee. Please come again.
Got a long way to go.
It's also important to know that some guns you cannot do certain things with. Like, if for some weird reason you had to use someone else's firearm or something, or you ran out of ammo in your own, you had to take your attacker's firearm to use temporarily. It's important for you to know that not every gun can do everything,
Miranda's
even
were nothing but children.
in terms of like ergonomics.
Oh, she doesn't care for us. No. She's long lost all her humanity. I must destroy her.
I don't give a shit about your family drama.
Alright, so we got this big floodlight next to us. Pay attention to this time the magazine that comes out of the gun, because we have 4 rounds in that magazine, so you should see a bullet at the very top of the magazine, sitting, waiting to be chambered and fired, because that's where there's 3 rounds that are not in the chamber right now. The chamber holds 1, so there's 1 in the chamber that's not going to be in the magazine when we take it out, but the other 3 are going to be in there, and when we reload, the animation does not actually show that. See how the magazine that came out was empty? Minor details that are not really important, but it's just something that you would notice if you deal with them more. The much more important thing, though, is to know, like, exactly what your firearm is capable of doing. So, like, with what I was saying earlier, not every gun can do everything, even in terms of ergonomics. So, this one holds 15, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that the magazine holds 15. That sometimes includes that's sometimes the total capacity. It's not usually written like that. Usually it'll say like 15 plus 1 or 14 plus 1 or whatever the number is. But not every gun can have a completely full magazine with a closed bolt, i.e. a round in the chamber. So it's important to know that if you're using something like that, or if you end up using something like that. Because if you try and load it to absolute full capacity, like if you load the magazine fully and you load the chamber and you try and insert the magazine, you may not be able to get it in if it's one of those firearms. And that not being able to get it in means you essentially have only 1 round to use, not because it's not gonna cycle if the magazine's not seated properly. I mean, it'll cycle, but it won't like feed a new round. It'll just shoot the one that you have, eject it, and then it'll be closed on an empty chamber is what I meant. But the point is that you'll only have 1 round to use, and that could cost you your life if you ever had to use it in some serious manner. So it's important to, I always miss this fucking thing, because it looks like the environment here. It's the same color as those. But it's important to know stuff like that. It's not something that you could easily look up either. It's just something that you build with familiarity over time. Experience with different firearms, learning the nuances and seeing what other people have to say about them. Like maybe they like this or they don't like that before you buy them or any other stuff. Look, there's a nice light here. I don't know if you caught it earlier. We got 12 rounds in this magazine. So one is in the chamber. Sorry, I misspoke again. We have 11 rounds in this magazine. We have one in the chamber is for a total of 12. But when we take the magazine out, it is empty. There's no golden brass colored cartridge at the top. It's just empty.
Another one?
Also, you may remember... you may remember from Resident Evil 4, they do actually include some +1 circumstances. When we played Resident Evil 4 Remake with Leon. Like, when you reload his handgun, it'll give you that +1, because you kept the round in the chamber, but you switched to a full magazine. So you still have that, you have that round on top of a full magazine. Okay. Did not think he was gonna get me around the bend. Okay. One example would be like, if you didn't know which way different revolvers rotate in different directions, typically Colt revolvers always rotate clockwise. Not typically. They do always. They always rotate clockwise. And Smith & Wesson revolvers always rotate counterclockwise. And other guns have other directions of rotating, but it's important to know, because if you, say, didn't have enough time to fully load each chamber of the cylinder, you would want to know if your gun is gonna fire, you know, or if it's gonna not fire. I missed this too because I didn't realize it. It looks so much like the environment despite having the yellow tape on the handles. On my first playthrough. But if, like, this revolver has 5 chambers in the cylinder. If you only had time to load 2 rounds, you would want to know, to make sure that the 2 chambers that you did load were going to be the next ones to fire, which means that you have to load the chambers that are, like, you'd have to load the chamber that is right here, where the loading gate is, and then the one beneath it right there. Um, it's easy for someone inexperienced or unknowledgeable, unaware, to load, like, not so much on this because it has a loading gate, so it kind of like directs you to load the one that's going to be next in line to fire. But if the if the cylinder swung out, I don't know. If it swung out to the side and all the chambers were accessible, it would be very easy for you to load two, any random two, and then when you close it, those are not the next two to fire.
Shit, that was close.
And at that point, if they were not the next two to fire, you would have to click, 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 and then you'd have a round. If there was 5 chambers, you'd be dropping the hammer on potentially 3 empty chambers before you actually catch a round, which seems maybe trivial, but that could cost you your life. You know, if someone's like right in front of you and you have to shoot then and there, clicking 1, 2, 3 times could get you stabbed in a very vital area where you will die, you know. Even if you do kill the guy afterwards, after the 3 clicks you finally manage to shoot, you are still probably gonna die without medical treatment, so.
Soon, she'll start her ceremony with your rose.
You could get lucky. You could only have to click once before the next one in line has the rounds that you loaded. You could only have to click twice, but even once or twice can easily spell your own demise.
You're the only one who doesn't see your kid's power.
Take Rose? I'd like to see you try. There's more?
I missed this one my first playthrough as well because I didn't realize you could drop down here. I was staring at it, trying to figure a way out how to get to the zip line right here for a long time, and then I had to look it up. I only looked it up on my second playthrough though, I think. I tried to do everything normally the first time. I got like most of the stuff, but not all of it. I think that's the only thing over here. Why is there something in here? Oh. Alright, so now we have to go whichever one had that casting thing. this one. We could go to B4 or B3. Oh. Maybe we can. Can't we though? I think we're supposed to go the other way, but oh shit. So with this one, you do actually have to like trim stuff like this, cause I don't know if it'll show it right here. I'll try and point it out if it does. Alright, so it didn't show it, but if you were to fill this up, it would have a stem. You know, cause you're filling this container, and it'll make the ball, but it's gonna have some of this portion right here filled up with metal as well. So you would have to like take the, you know, your finished part out and then hand fit it, like sand down, cut any excess off and then sand down the rest or grind down the rest. There's no way you can cast it into a perfect sphere, like, just off the bat, without doing anything to it. And then with this one, the same thing would happen. It would happen with all of them, but, like, the point of it is just that the key part, like, the actual teeth on the key, is on the opposite side, so you could still use this key without trimming it. It would just have like this, it would just have a tube sticking out of it, you know, on this end. But the key itself would be usable still. The ball would not. You'd actually have to round it off by hand. so like, right now we don't have that much time, so I'll put. Oh wow, okay. Then I guess not. This is a little bit odd. So now we have totally screwed with the animations to where I guess he loaded it from the bottom instead of putting one in the ejection port, and also the hammer is down. See on the right? The hammer is down for some reason. Very odd. I don't know. We might get a nice reload here. Alright, so we killed them all, but like... Okay, well, I tried to explain it, but I guess there's not enough technical stuff in this game. For some reason, sometimes he does the right reload, and sometimes he does the wrong one, and there's like no consistency. Is it the ball sport thing? The one they throw an excess of sort? What? The ball that we made is it's the ball for the thing that we're actually not gonna do. It's the one for like the little puzzle where you shake it like until the ball falls into the big little goal thing. I wonder if the power is on really quick. I'll check if anything changed over here. The light is green. They make this revolver in several different calibers. Maybe several isn't even the right term because it's like more than 10. But the one that I like does use essentially like rifle. It uses like a rifle caliber, but it's optimized for a shorter barrel. It's not exactly a rifle caliber, but it has rifle-like energy. And like specifically it has rifle energy out of the revolver length barrel instead of like a full size barrel. They also make it though in I don't know about that. They also make it in 44 Magnum and your other common revolver calibers, but those are really boring. And if you're gonna get like a 44 Magnum in something, you're better off just choosing a different platform than this specific revolver. You could get like you could get like a Desert Eagle or something in 44 Magnum, or you could get a Desert Eagle in 44 Magnum, or you could get several other revolvers that are gonna fire faster than this one because they're not gonna be single action. That means you can just pull the trigger, you don't have to thumb the hammer back every time you fire it. that blew up. Oh, okay. I thought I set them far enough apart. See how every time he fires, he has to thumb the hammer back? It does look reminiscent of exoskeletons. Or like a jetpack. I don't know, is this one easy? I really think it's not. Let's try to see if we can do it. I'm only gonna try this one time though. If I don't get it on the first time, then I'm tapping out. It's not worth the effort. Not on a playthrough. The last playthrough I ever do of this game, potentially. Where I have no reason to like try and get anything. Oof. Okay, well, we tried. It's not that difficult, it's just like I don't want to waste like 5 minutes doing it. It's not fun for me, it's not fun for you. Now what we have to do is go to B1 and put the thingy on the wall. The door. Also, if you get a Desert Eagle in 44 Magnum, it's probably gonna hold... I'm pretty sure they hold 8 shots, which is more capacity than any other 44 Magnum handgun that's available. So, it would be beneficial over having 6. There's just better platforms for 44 Magnum. The only reason I like this revolver at all is just because of that caliber that I learned about recently. Ain't it dumb that he is using the arm that he is protecting his own... Yeah, he could attack with the other arm easily. I'm glad that they made it so that he does try protect his like vital area with, but it's not that difficult to get his arm away from it. If you notice, Mr. X does that as well with the grafted heart on the outside of his chest. He does that in the Resident Evil 2.
Time to die. You can hear it, can't you?
This is what it's called, Sturm. Managed to chop off his own arms.
Waiting for you.
Just in case. I don't think he's gonna kill me, but like...
Out of my way! stay down.
I don't think they have to close caption Sturm explodes either. Like, no offense to deaf people, but you still have eyes. Like, you can see it happening. So I don't think we need to... I don't think we need to close caption Sturm explodes. I guess we got everything. I'm not gonna clear up all the red areas anyway, so it's not a big deal. We're just trying to get all the stuff on the way. I thought this was gonna be a boss arena of some kind, or some kind of ambush thing, because this is the same fence that he broke in that one area. And there's like some supplies here. Or, I guess that one was empty, but like, sort of some supplies. And then there's this guy up here, but there's nothing that happens if you fuck with them. Kind of disappointing. I fell off of this one time. Not this part, but the next part, I jumped somewhere here. I think I jumped this way thinking you were supposed to get off there or something. I don't know.
Again?
Now we're at the very bottom.
In the way.
See how he drops the magazine and then he wrecks the slide.
That wasn't her. It was Miranda. What?
She's a bioweapon. She changed her appearance and pretended to be Mia. Seems she also survived being shot, so now I'm here to finish the job.
Bullshit! Why don't you fucking tell me right away?
Because I knew you would want to be involved! And this job is hard enough without civilians getting in the way.
So
Why us, Chris?
silly.
What the hell is going on?
All right, Ethan. All right. I guess I owe you an explanation.
So silly.
Hand me that wrench. Long story short, Miranda's fucking insane. In this village, all these monsters and freaks, this is her life's work. Some sort of crazy experiment with the mold.
Like Louisiana. God damn it. All this time, I thought I could save
I think we
everything.
can, if you're not tired yet, we can,
I can't do anything.
Might not be true.
we can finish it
Look
today.
at this. My men sent those pictures a few minutes ago. Keep looking.
Rose. Holy shit, we gotta go.
Relax. My men are monitoring the situation.
But they have my daughter.
You don't get it, Ethan. You don't stand a chance against Miranda by yourself. I will stay down here and finish planting explosives. You take that elevator. I'll meet you topside. I promise you, we will get your daughter back. Together.
Damn straight. And when I find Miranda, she's a dead woman.
So dramatic. So
Alright,
dramatic. Like,
You take this, and do me a favor.
these games
Try to stay
may
out
be
of the way.
better with, like, a hard drink. More easy to swallow, at least. I guess there's nothing else you can do down here. I don't know why it makes you hold the button for this long though, because it makes you hold it for that long as if
Polymer composite. Time to
You-
fight fire with fire.
you cannot go back once you do this, which is true, but we already cannot go back because we're down here. Like, if it was like entering an area where you can no longer play the rest of the game, then yeah, but that should have happened before we got to Heisenberg's factory at all, because you cannot go back to the village. Like, as soon as you enter that cutscene, you cannot do anything. You have to play the end game. I don't think it's dramatic, I think it's kinda good. It is very, it's very dramatic and cringy if you're like a real person who did real things in terms of like violence. But anyway, it's not that part. It's not the comfort and stuff. It's like the fact that he's like, when I find Miranda, she's a dead woman, and then he dramatically racks the slide of his handgun despite Chris already telling him that she didn't die from being shot. it's like, okay then, man. Just, like, save it for when you get there, you know? Like... This is the hardest part in the harder difficulties as well. This took me like an hour or two to do in the hard difficulty. Also, they... butchered my beloved 50 cal. The machine gun on the right side is the M2. I can't tell if it's the M2A1 or something else, but it's certainly an M2 of some kind. It's not the M2 HV because the fire rate is too fast, but it could be an M2A1. But it's supposed to be. Not supposed to be. It is in real life a very powerful machine gun. It's for mounting on vehicles and tanks and other stuff, but the sound effect for it sounds so weak in this game, and it barely does any damage to him. See, my big problem is that why would you, when you're about to kill Ethan, why would you stop? Like right when you're about to kill him just because something happens behind you? Really? That kind of stuff is literally just dramatic plot armor, Deus Ex Machina. There's no sense in anything else. Other explanations. Yeah. Yeah, it would be more. It would make more sense to join him. Also, the other thing is that
Ethan? I heard explosions. What the hell happened?
I dealt with Heisenberg.
how the hell
If I
did
can
he
find
hear
Miranda,
explosions
he
from the
knows where I am.
bottom of the factory after
It's too
he
dangerous.
blew the
Wait
factory
there,
up?
you hear me?
What?
Ethan?
I mean, I guess
Rose?
he left before he blew it up. I don't.
Ethan, respond!
It's like, how would you be able to tell that that's not
Mia?
Our child.
a chain reaction from
She's
his own
so
explosion?
important, isn't she?
She's everything to me.
And mine to me.
So like the thing with the machine, like his power is like electromagnetism. That's why his symbol is a magnet. His like family insignia, just like Demetrius is like a rose or something like that. Some feminine symbolizing thing.
Where's Rose?
But um the the thing about it is though is that like
Remember Evelyn and her power over
he
the
starts flying towards the
Rose
vortex
is
at the end
resistance.
that like Heisenberg is like swirling everything in the air, that very last part before he shoots Heisenberg again with the grenade launcher on the little vehicle that they made.
Fuck you, you crazy bitch!
Why is he levitating and swirling towards Heisenberg when he's not made of metal? Like Heisenberg has power over anything that's like magnetic, you know? So he can attract like the metal scrap and stuff in the yard, and he can attract the vehicle. But why is Ethan pulled towards him and like levitated off the ground? Ethan is not
Why did
made of
Rose
metal.
come to be?
There's not enough iron in your blood to do that. Like,
And you are truly a special case. But I've learned all I can. Your worth as a lab rat has run out.
Miranda! You coward! Come out and face me!
Alpha is Chris Redfield's.
Your death
It's like his
will
call
join the
sign, even though
Megamycet's records.
she's. I see what you're saying earlier about her.
I will make sure to sample your blood for data. Once dawn breaks, the ceremony will
They
be
don't-
complete.
Real
and
military
I will
doesn't have call
become
signs
her
like that,
true
but
mother, bound
that's like his
to
thing.
deep blood.
Well, there. Yeah. Her nails are really long though.
I've waited so long. The dreams really can come true.
She's
I can't wait to see my true child again.
she's not bad. I was maybe judging her with like the blood and stuff on her face, not getting a good look. But I always skip that cutscene anyway because like I watched it the first time, but like
I've confirmed the death of Ethan Winters.
it's like
I wasn't
3
able to
minutes
retrieve the
long.
body, but I've recorded evidence.
Share your screen, and I'll go over the situation. My team and I were careless. Yesterday, we took down the transformed Miranda, but we didn't kill her.
Who knew she could fake being a corpse?
Since Miranda could have infected Ethan, I forcefully took him and Rose with us. But the vehicle they were riding in was attacked. When I got to the wreck, Ethan and Rose were gone. The last time I was able to contact Ethan, I heard Miranda's voice. She murdered him. And she is not gonna get away with it. God damn it, when does it end?
What's that, sir? The mission?
All of it. 3 years trying to put this thing in the ground.
Yeah, maybe the mold with the mold
3
thing,
years too long.
but the force of the cyclone doesn't make sense. Like, there's not. There would be some wind, yeah, from the moving objects, but there's no way it could be enough to like carry a person like that. Speaking of, I actually wanted to send you this thing I saw a couple days ago. It's interesting. Hopefully I'll remember it later when we
Mission adjustment?
finish.
No, doesn't change anything. Terminate
It
Miranda
was related
and
to that.
rescue Bruce. That's the mission. And failure's not an option.
Let's have some fun, people. Like old times.
Move out.
Roger. Okay.
K9, I want to know what the hell BSAA is doing here. Find out what you can.
Roger that. I'm on.
You know what? Since we fought together, Captain. When was it last? The desert?
Doing nothing but recon's gotten me out of shape.
But thanks to your recon, we know Miranda's plan.
Couldn't quite believe it when I heard she turned herself into Mia, though. Taking 5 shots.
I'll teach you about recon another time. Don't worry.
Spooky.
What's about? It had nothing to do with that. It had to. Do you mind if I send it to you really quick? I'll probably find it pretty fast. It has to do with wind from like generating electricity, but instead of using like natural wind with like wind turbines, it uses just like wind from passing buses and stuff like that, like on busy roads, because that's more consistent. You always generate electricity no matter whether it's a windy day or if it's a calm day, because the cars pass by and there's no other effects, because you know it doesn't like take more energy to drive a car past these little. I'll send it to you really quick. Hold on. It should be pretty close to the top of this thingy. I saved it. In the meantime, Chris's AK is like really it looks super tactical and stuff, but it's not really that. It's very bizarre. I would not run that. No. Here, it's this one. Check your Instagram, really quick. You don't have to watch the whole thing. It's like a 1 or 2 minute reel, but just like look at it really quick. No, it's not about any court stuff. You can watch it later or something if you want. Another thing is that they are all using different weapons, which is like, it's something that you generally want to avoid. Specifically, they're using different calibers as well. There's not any consistency. Usually you want like some variation to do specific things that other people cannot do, but you don't want so much variation to where no one has anything that can like share parts or ammunition or other things. sent something about what? Your main account. Just look at it later then.
Made contact with a group of hostile bioweapons.
Welcome, we thought. Watch out.
We'll look at like the that's okay, it doesn't matter.
Western route is clear. Moving out.
Roger that.
We'll look at the reloads and stuff that Chris does compared to like Ethan.
BSAA craft spotted. 2 yards. I can take it.
Don't get cocky.
In a second. I like this handgun a little bit. It's not my favorite handgun, but it's a nice, interesting one. What? I don't know what you're talking about, baby. Like, I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
Let's go.
I was saying that I was gonna... The thing that you said with the vortex from Heisenberg, like, pulling everything that was metal in the yard, reminded me of the thing that I just sent you. But I don't know what you're talking about with, like, this law stuff. I know. I said you can look at it later.
Damn it, the path's blocked.
No worries. Detour around the village.
So when we swap mags, and we're not empty, he just grabs the new mag. He takes the first one out and puts the new one in. Nothing special, but you'll see when we do an empty reload here in a sec that it's a little bit different. This is with his NVGs and stuff. It's cool, but not exactly realistic. How about this? I'll send you it on your other account so that you can view it and stop suggesting to me weird shit. Because I literally have no idea what to reply. I'll send it to you just right now. This is what I was going to send you. This is what I've been talking about the whole time. Nothing to do with law. Nothing to do with courts, legality, presidents, nothing to do with any of that.
Umberise, I need some backup.
So we have plenty of ammo, I'm not really worried. I'm gonna shoot off the last 2 rounds and then look at how we reload here. We're empty, we got nothing. He's gonna turn the rifle to the side first, and then he, after doing that, he takes the old mag out, lets it drop on the ground, and then he puts a new mag in. And he's turning the rifle to the side to make sure that he didn't stop firing from like a jam or anything. He stopped firing because he's out of ammunition. The whole point of the silencer on the end is to make it less loud. I don't think they know how silencers work in Resident Evil, because the same thing happened in Resident Evil 7. One of the guns had a silencer, and it was like still, it sounded like just normal. So. Also, I'm pretty sure the magazines are doing the same thing with this one. Yeah, when he takes the... Right now we have 8, so we have 1 in the chamber and then 7 left in the magazines. But when he takes it out, it's empty. It's okay though, they don't understand how it works.
target location. Damn, this is big. All right, Lobo. Marking the target.
Roger that, boss. All right. Reloading now. Just a minute. There's a small headed that way. Reloading. Launching soon. Okay, Captain. Reloading. Ready to expanding. Must be something sticking.
PSA guys are engaging bioweapons. You're right, Captain. They must be after Re8 too.
It's about to collapse. Hold your horses. I'm reloading. What's that?
Why is it not stacked suddenly?
Damn it, these things are using weapons.
Sure they're thinking the same about you. Is the target locator working? Bioweapon numbers are increasing. Finish them off quick.
Okay, they come up on the roof
Mountains. East side.
easily.
I'm nearby. I'll handle him.
Bruh.
Take that.
Megamycete must be I found a way down. I'm going in, the rest of you stay back.
Captain, I compared the mold at the village with a sample from the bakers, and there's no sign of the genome editing we saw in the E-series. The stuff originated here.
Guarding the Megamycete, huh? Lobo, I got a tough guy here. I'm gonna need backup. There's an opening in the roof. Use it!
Okay, I'm moving out. There.
there's no way that you could see that through the hole in the ceiling. He could certainly send something down here that would probably kill Chris as well. But if anything, he should be flashing the locator through the hole in the ceiling, not down, like not onto this guy. If any, if anything, he should be shining it up like this.
So if Miranda was the fake Mia, where's the real one? I doubt she saw any further use for her. I don't get any of this. How did Miranda even know Rose exists?
A moldy little bird told her, maybe?
We can figure that out later. Focus on the plan. I found it. It's the Megamycete. Alpha to squad. I've located the Megamycete.
So now we can end this mess after all.
About damn time. N2 explosives armed. There's enough there to blow the whole village sky high.
Let's get out of here and blow the damn place.
Not before I end Miranda. I'm not taking any more chances. I'm going in.
Roger that. Standing by. Captain, I have eyes on Miranda at the ceremony site.
Keep your distance. Do not move until I give the order.
I know it's too late now, but we really should have told Ethan the plan.
There wasn't time. We didn't expect Miranda to act so soon.
Even so, you should have told him.
Yeah. This must be Miranda's lab.
She looks better like the way we actually see her than in these pictures. Like with the blonde hair and stuff. You didn't open this one. I think this one is tying it into Resident Evil 5 because I think that's the one where it's like this progenitor thing found in Africa. I think that's tying it into the Ouroboros.
Spencer. Here. No way.
The guy second from the right, his like there's a fold on the photograph and it makes his face look really weird. This one's a nice photo, sort of, mostly. Her eyes are like not centered though. Her left eye is like slightly. Never mind.
Show me your hands! Umbrise, this is Alpha. Where is Miranda right now?
Still at the ceremony site. Whatever she's doing, she's staying put.
God damn. It is you. I'm glad you're safe, Mia. Why are you here?
I was caught in Houston experiments.
Wait, did you say Mia? Mia Winters?
In the flesh. What's the situation up there?
Kind of a war going on. Nothing we can't handle.
Don't get distracted. Stick to the mission. I'm headed to the ceremony site.
Wait. You can't leave me here. You promised, damn it. You said that you would keep us safe. We did everything that you asked. We moved over here, everything. And I didn't care. So long as we were together. So you tell me, where is my husband? Where is my daughter?
Ethan is gone. I couldn't save him. But I can save Rose. Come on. It's not safe here after all.
What do you mean he's gone?
He's dead. I'm sorry, Mia, but we have to leave. We have to destroy this village.
No! You're wrong. I tried to keep this a secret, but... you don't understand how special he is.
So, oh, what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So there's no way that they can hear him talking over the radio when he's not transmitting it. So when his team member says, "Wait, did you say Mia Winters?" There's no way for him to hear that because if it was all radios are like push to talk. It means you have to hold the button down to talk. And they have to be, especially in a military sense, because like otherwise your gunfire would just be going through your microphone. So no one would be able to hear each other.
Shit. My body.
Especially if someone is like doing some support stuff like outside, like if someone's waiting to pick you up like 1 mile away in a helicopter or something like that. Not near the fighting, not near to risk damaging the evacuation or extraction of people, but near enough to where they can pick you up fast. That person does not have the time or like
It wasn't Miranda.
ability to listen to gunfire the whole time. They need to like hear you say when you're ready to go or not. They can't just wait there forever.
See? Miranda didn't kill you. You mean you didn't think it was weird? No matter how much you got hurt? Remember. 3 years ago, the Baker house. You were murdered by Jack. You died there 3 years ago.
That's impossible. No way.
You shouldn't even be able to walk around.
Quit messing with my head.
You shouldn't be walking.
Screw you! What am I? I did all that. Rose. Yeah.
See, I don't think we need closed captioning for this. Like, really?
Do you get it? Your whole body is nothing but mold. You can't ever see your family again.
Family. No. Rose. I have to save my daughter.
You're already dead. Dead.
I will save Rose!
At last, he awakes.
Where am I?
My carriage, Ethan. You were having a nightmare.
Duke?
Your battle with Heisenberg was a sight to see. But to think Miranda would show herself.
How long have I been out?
Not long till dawn.
Duke, I need a favor. Take me to Miranda.
I assumed as much and am already on the way. We should arrive shortly.
Thank you.
But Ethan, are you sure of this? Your body is, well, falling apart.
Yes.
Foolish of me to ask.
Speaking of foolish questions, who, what are you?
Even I can't quite answer that. We're here.
I owe you one.
Mr. Winters, I'm afraid you can't return to your old world any longer. Are you ready?
Yeah. I have to be. I gotta go.
Can't run in this segment. It's just kind of annoying. Who knows how the horse and carriage actually got here, because it does kind of look like we came from some direction that cannot be made. But seeing as it's going to be a long walk and there's not gonna be anything interesting. I did read your comment and I understand it now. I'm sorry, baby. You're confusing me because you brought it up all of a sudden when there's no relevance at all to like. I thought you were asking about like
Out of my way.
if that was what I sent you at first, but I understand now. And to answer, I know you said you looked it up, but like, it takes a while to explain such things. There's nothing I could try explain, but it's better to just talk about it another time.
Come to me.
Your question about it wasn't very clear either. Short answer of like
How I've missed you.
the Colorado decision, they're already filing lawsuits on how you can't remove people from the ballot like that and stuff like that. So they're losing.
My power is leaving me.
See, don't you think this version of her is better than the one with the dark hair and the pictures and stuff? I think it suits her more. Besides the like black guy thing going on right now.
Give Rose to me. Now!
You will see. Once I kill you properly, everything.
Get her now! Let go!
I've spent a lifetime creating this moment, and you try to take it away from me. I will take what is due. My desires will be fulfilled. Rose is mine!
What the fuck?
From a story aspect, she even acknowledges that Rose is not her baby, even though she like periodically will like say
You disposed of my false.
that she's doing it to save her kid, that she's gonna replace
I assure you I'll provide her with treats. So now you can die peacefully.
she's trying to get her baby back that died from the Spanish flu in the early like 1900s.
Please, Mr. Winters. How can you deny me?
Why the hell didn't you realize Rose is my kind of kid, not yours?
The Metamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive me nuts.
think it's time you left things in my house. If I combine both, my daughter will be made manifest at last. A century, all for mistake. Why won't you? Hold still. Why do you? Sure, so close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter, you psycho!
Your time is up! Now die! I will see my hopes. It must. Cease this foolishness. Those they could do nothing to assuage my emotions.
I think the problem might be you, Miranda. You're not capable of real love.
Curse this ramshackle bitch. Why? Here I come. This is how it ends. To ensure I never see your face again.
I can't do anything. What the fuck?
Every single cell of your being. You will not, for all eternity, as punishment for your interference. I don't have. My daughter! My
Rose! It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
Time for running. Maybe he's too tired.
Ethan! Ethan! Come on, Ethan. Come on, Ethan, wake up.
Chris,
Ethan. You did it. It's finished.
I think we've finished each other.
Ethan. We gotta move. Keep moving, Ethan. There's a bomb in that thing that'll blow this whole village sky high. Hey, look at me. When I hit this trigger, we can't be anywhere near it. Ah, damn it. Mia's waiting for you. She's alive, you hear me?
They have safeties on them
Alive.
so that there's no safety present in the thing they just showed.
I love you. Keep Rose safe.
Hey, hey. Hey. And you tell yourself. Now come on, it's not that much further.
Watch over her. Teach her to be strong. Goodbye, Rosemary.
Ethan.
Rose!
Go. Go, take us up now.
Wait! Where's Ethan?
Get moving. We have to get clear.
No! We can't go, not without my husband!
Mia, sit down and strap in.
Not before you tell me where Ethan is. I know he wouldn't abandon us. Tell me what's going on. Where? What was that?
I told you to sit down.
Where is he? Chris? What have you done?
He's gone. I tried. He stayed so we could all escape. I'm sorry.
Captain. You need to see this.
If only there were bombs that powerful that you could just
BSAA
carry
didn't
around
send
on you,
soldiers.
like a handheld.
This is a bioweapon.
The hell were they thinking?
Orders, Captain.
Pick up the rest of the squad. Plot a course for BSAA Europe HQ. Someone's gotta pay.
You can't just pick up your teammates and go to their HQ. You have to go through command to authorize something like that. He's captain. That's not high enough on the officer ranks.
Cold and I cried when I found Gifts we gave, but more you took, she snarled. So more in turn is due. In a blink, the girl was trapped inside a mirror. Her parents, though, had searched all day and at last arrived. With rampant rage, Father fought the witch, while Mother's loving touch shattered the dark enchantment. But the witch was strong, and Father yelled, "Save our daughter!" So Mother bore their child to safety as the forest was consumed. Even now, the burnt forest is a grim reminder of Father's sacrifice. To this day, any child who stares too long into the charred wasteland will be haunted by nightmares of getting lost while picking berries. Hello, my tears, because of you, I am who I am. Hello, sorrow, because of you, I am who I because of you, I am who I am.
Do you think the little boy will be able to touch the moon?
Nobody can touch the moon. It's too far away.
Wait, what if he has a rocket ship?
Okay, then you can touch it, but it'd be very, very cool.
You were being silly. I don't think the moon.
Hey, Dad. Happy birthday. Sorry I missed last week. I have a lot of tests coming up. You know how it is. Talk of the goddamn devil. Duty calls. I love you.
Yeah, I found her. Where else? The day of all days. We have a situation. You're needed, Evelyn.
Don't you ever call me that again.
Whoa, it's just a joke, Rose.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do.
Sussy.
Stand down. I can handle it. She's just a kid.
Way to keep it together, Rose.
You're a lot like him, you know?
That's not a good thing, but okay.
I know.
And then this part is like maybe the weirdest part. Instead of a fade to black cutting out like right here-ish roughly, we see them drive and keep driving, and there's someone standing way out there. It looks like a person standing way out there. And they drive and they drive, and the person doesn't interact with the car. Just bizarre. Truly bizarre. Maybe the DLC explains it. I don't know, but I don't care enough to play the DLC, to be honest. I just think it's weird that like it didn't go one way or the other. Like what you mean as a whole, or you mean the end scene? Like with I think that the driving is just like either there should be like some conclusion, like they interact, or like it fades to black earlier. Like, does it have to? Do we have to watch drive all the way down this road? The rest of the cutscene was fine. She acts funny. She gets moody, but she's like a teenager. It's sort of normal for them. So, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't terribly cringe or anything. I don't understand why we watch the car go all the way down there and then nothing happens with it. She's alright, I guess. This is one of those things where I would say it was definitely a game of all time. Not the, not a great game of all time, but a game, yes, certainly one of them. I did okay. We didn't die that much, but like, it wasn't particularly difficult. Thank you though, baby. I stand by what I said. I think that this is a 5 out of 9 game because, like, it could have been more. It could have been interesting, but they kind of like it has like a lot of shock value with like the various stuff that you see and like all the enemies. Like a lot of them are huge and stuff like that. But they're not actually that difficult, and even on the harder difficulties, all you do is just save up like the strongest ammo that you can get, and then you just dump it all on them and you run past the other. Like it's not challenging the way you would expect a game to be challenging. Like in Dark Souls, you kind of yeah, you can like level yourself up so much so that you can like take 20 million hits or whatever. It never gets actually that high. Usually you can only take like 4 hits from a boss before dying if you don't like heal or block them. And that's a lot. Like usually it's closer to like 2 or 3. Sure you can over level yourself, but like really at some level you have to like study the boss. You have to like analyze, observe like the way the boss attacks so that you can time your dodges properly or parries or whatever other stuff that you're gonna do to get your window of opportunity to counterattack. Um, so there's like a level of skill, you know, there's like a level of skill, of observation. There's something that you have to do that you don't just do one thing and everything else comes automatically. You know, you don't just like level up and the rest of the game just completes itself. Like how you just kind of hoard ammo on the harder difficulties and then just dump it all on the bosses, and every other confrontation is like somewhat avoidable. So it could have been, I'm not saying it has to be a difficult game, but like it's so easy that it's like not entertaining. So there has to be like some level of like challenge to it, otherwise you don't really captivate people. And there's also other other implications from that because it's in the horror genre. If there's not like some baseline of difficulty, like a moderate one, if it's the easiest game in the world, then there's no threat of actually dying, and because there's no threat of dying, there's no horror scary part aspect to it. Like if you know that nothing can hurt you, you could just play on like really low volume and just like yeah, you're gonna see like some jump scares, but like you're after like the second one you're gonna be pretty used to it, you know? So like the rest of the game's not gonna be scary. If you put people though in the situation where anything could kill them, then people get really, really apprehensive, you know? That makes people on edge. They're like, oh shit, you know, like I could actually die. And the slightest sound in the background, that makes them do the opposite, you know, instead of playing on like a low ass volume, kicking back, knowing that nothing is gonna get you. Instead, people put their volume up high because they want to know, you know, if they hear something like the slightest movement behind them, they want to turn around. So I think that because of stuff like that, it really has to take the loss from me in my rating. Um, and yeah, I will say that it is a 5 out of 9 because it was, I don't know, it was fun enough to play once, twice, maybe even like 3 times, get like the trophies and stuff. and the graphics were decent, and some of the other stuff was decent, but like all in all, it is not like I can't rate it in the like the top 50% of games, you know, like it's not the kind of thing that I would keep on my hard drive playing over and over or anything. Like Resident Evil 4 has better replayability. Um, Other Resident Evil games have better replayability too. Like I think even Resident Evil 7 was a better game than this one. Despite I love the giant monsters, and Resident Evil 7 doesn't have giant monsters except for the last boss, but I cannot tip the scales in favor of one thing, especially when the giant monsters are so easy. You can block their gigantic hammers that would certainly kill anyone, much less be stopped by hands. But for some reason you can block them. Yeah, it's not scary anymore, you know, when you make like a gigantic horror and it turns out that it can't really get you. Um, it's problematic for horror genre. Anyway, are you ready to sleep? I think you are. You might already be asleep by now, maybe. Alright. Good night then, baby. I love you. Tell me when you wake up.